all about new behaviour and a change in behaviour. Now, we've got the room, we've got half an hour, essentially, for questions, points and discussions. What I'm going to do, those of you who need to leave, we understand that, but try and leave fairly quickly and quietly if you can.
As long as it's not the...
As long as anybody who wants to be involved in the International People's Assembly, Marina wants to talk to you afterwards, so please do stay and come to talk to Marina afterwards. I'm going to take bouts of 3 questions, points, comments, whatever.
Okay. We've got a roving microphone.
Thank you. The speakers will then come back right at the end, but if you do have a direct question from one of the speakers, then make that clear and they'll make a note and they'll come back. I've got about 3 people whom I know I need to take, and I will intersperse when I'm calling them. So forgive me if it sounds like it's not manipulated in advance. I'm telling you that I'm going to take at least 3 people I've worked out in advance. And some of you I know and will use your name, and some of you I don't, so my apologies for that. So the first 3... Do you know everybody in the room who has their hand up is a man? So far as I can see. No? Well, there is why not, but let's start with some women asking questions. The sister there, and after her, I'm looking for someone in the middle, right in the middle, yes, you. Yes, the sister there, and the comrade there from London Podemos. Those 3, and then I'll take another 3. I'm not going to take exclusively women, I promise.
So my, I feel a bit under pressure now as like the first woman, but my question actually, I was really glad that Tarek brought up the question of Scotland and the Radical Independence campaign. I was involved with the campaign in Glasgow, and I think that just this week, the Scottish Left Project has announced its new forum to debate for a new socialist party, and I think they will follow a very similar model to Podemos in that if you look 4 months, 5 months down the line, they will be a very successful political party because they've come from a big social movement and are very keen on democracy. My question actually is something to do with, again, what Tarek said about the involvement of young people. Having been in Glasgow and seen how incredible 16, 17, 18-year-olds were in that movement and amazing street politics that they took part in, and what could we learn from that? And should we, on the left in London or in England, be campaigning for the votes for 16 to 18-year-olds? I feel slightly torn on this issue just because I feel like we shouldn't be legitimising the political parties as they stand, but having seen how amazingly well that mobilised 16, 17, 18-year-old voters, is this something on the left that we should be thinking about now and campaigning actively for? So I'd be interested to hear the panel's thoughts on that.
Right in the middle there, yeah.
Okay, hi. I've just a couple of questions, really. One is very basic, but I want to ask it, which is, there's been a strong emphasis on wanting to do things differently, and I just want to ask how we do this without learning from the past. And I know there's been some ideas expressed about not wanting to repeat the same mistakes. And I just want to know a little bit more from each of the panellists about how they understand learning from other left unity projects in the past, and both the strengths and weaknesses of those, and the limitations sometimes of left unity as well as its strengths. And specifically for Podemos, I just wanted to ask a little bit more about why you think it's necessary to move beyond the language of left and right. I think that's been expressed by other people on the panel. But I wonder if that is something about wanting to reflect on a sentiment that's out there in the general population of wanting to move beyond left and right. But I do have reservations that perhaps that just expresses simply a move to the right rather than actually doing something different, and rather an affirmation of the status quo. So I just wanted to push you a little bit on that. And for Syriza, I just wanted to ask, what are you going to do if you do take power?
Thank you. And comrade over here, who is from London Podemos.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. We just wanted to use 3 minutes, basically, to say who we are, what we do here in London. So maybe can come here. So we are basically about 50 people permanently working in different groups on different subjects, and a further 100, 150 people coming to our meetings, assemblies, events. The vast majority of us is from Spain, right? But we also have members from the UK, from other European countries, from South America. And we left our homes over there because there was no opportunities there. There was no future, there was no hope. And we came here, and something we really want to do here is to be involved in politics here, to change things here, now. And there are at least 3 good reasons to do that. The first one is that we live here, right? Here is where we have our universities, our home, our jobs, our family, friends, pubs, everything, exactly as you. The second thing is that our problems are also your problems, right? And our enemies are also your enemies. And they are really very well interconnected between them internationally. So we need, if you want to beat them, and we want to beat them, right, we need to coordinate our effort to bring other experiences from different countries and merge everything together and fight back. This is the reason why we are also involved in the establishment of this transnational platform that Marina will explain you later, the International People Assembly. And then also, we want to change things here because this is a very influential country, right? You are a model for the world. During the 40s and the 50s, with this great spirit of the 45, you create the NHS, you nationalized industries, we did social housing. So if we can change things here, right, we can change things everywhere, right? So we will have a meeting next Sunday, this Sunday, right? We used to meet at the Royal Festival Hall every 2 weeks, and you are all invited, right? All invited. And then we are ready to join you and to fight with you, to save and improve the NHS, to get a pay rise. We will be there at the demonstration Saturday to get rid of this new slavery like the 0 hours contract that is really nonsense, to get free education, good education. So we are here to change things with you, and we think that it is possible. We really think that this is possible. Sí se puede.
Sister there, Paul here in the pink, Paul at the front, and somebody over here, the sister towards the front, but then towards the back I will take you next time round. Yeah.
Okay. One of the things that I've noticed in my my introduction to left politics in the last 18 months is an enormous culture of competitiveness. I get told all the time why we're different to everybody else. The Green Party, Tusk, People's Assembly, you name it. What is always being pointed out is where we're different. And and it feels very, very competitive to me. And what I think about is that this new way of politics is about collaboration. I think capitalism teaches us to be competitive. I think that's a habit. And that this new way of being is about collaboration. It's about the unity word, not the left word. And I think it is another language. It brings another language and another way of doing things. And it's another skill set. And that we need to be learning that. Okay. Any comments?
Thank you. of notes being taken on my left and my right, so the speakers will come back. Paul.
Hi, everybody. I'm Paul Mackney. I'm co-chair of the Greece Solidarity Campaign and just back from Greece and from meeting the Syriza MPs, the solidarity movements that were referred to, the women cleaners who've been out for a year who sent a message to Ken. They wanted to thank Ken for his email. And there was a question came from all of them. When we said, what help do you want? They said, we want you to fight back against austerity in your own country. But they also asked a question of us. And that is, in particular, Tsipras and Alexis Tsipras, who is the leader of Syriza, and Fotiou, who's been over here a number of times. They both asked, and they asked together, are you ready, if we come into government next year, to build a solidarity movement on the streets of Britain and other countries which will say, hands off Greece? Because it's 3% of the population of Europe, Greece. They can act as a catalyst, but the idea of having socialism in one Greece, which is then picked apart by academics and commentators here, we want people